Hey homebodies, welcome back to my channel, Catskill Mountain Homebody. My name is Amy. Chipper's here with me today. We made it to another weekend. It's almost March, and what that means is soon I will be taking down my Valentine's Day decorations and putting up my spring decorations. I usually do that in the early part of March, so that video will be coming soon. But today we are going to be cooking in this video, and I have a surprise for you guys. I'm going to be debuting, although I already debuted it in a short, but I'm going to be debuting in this long video Joe's first cutting board that he made, because Joe has been working on starting a woodworking business as a retirement business. He has been watching many videos, gathering the materials he needs, and he already has all the woodworking tools he needs. So let me show you his first cutting board. I got the first cutting board. This is the cutting board that Joe made for me. This wood is kind of a reddish wood, and it's known as Paduke, I think. And this is hard maple. This light wood is hard maple. And I wanted a maple in the cutting board because our cabinets are light wood, and these repurposed shelving are also a light wood, so I thought it would be nice to have a maple, some kind of maple on the cutting board. So that's why I thought it would look nice in here, and I think it looks great. I mean, look how pretty that looks. So he made me the checkerboard pattern. He's going to be experimenting with different patterns. This is just the first one he made. I requested the reddish wood because I have a red theme in my kitchen, if you haven't noticed. There's my red teapot. I have a lot of red accents in the kitchen, so I wanted a reddish wood. So if you look at the bottom, you'll see the bottom has, I think he called it a chamfered edge or something. And he put feet on the bottom. I don't know if you can see those. So it sits above the countertop a little bit. And that makes it nice so it doesn't slide when you're cutting, which is not good to have a cutting board slide when you're cutting. So it's very, very sturdy. So if I push on it, it's really not moving. So if I'm cutting really hard, which I'm not going to be doing, but if I'm really slicing something, I'm not going to have an accident with the cutting board. So this is his first cutting board. He is going to be making my sister one. She's getting the second cutting board. And it's not perfect, but I think it's pretty darn good for his first attempt. And I think it looks beautiful. And I'm sure he'll be getting better as time goes on. So eventually he has a website set up, and he's going to be selling these cutting boards. And we're not at that point yet because he's still trying out his first boards, but I would say in about a year his business will be up and running pretty well. So he's going to be starting to make all kinds of cutting boards this summer, and other things too, bowls, wooden bowls, and other wooden projects, and then he's going to put them up on his website. So I'll let you guys know when that happens. But it's coming. We already got the first cutting board done, and again, I am going to be using this a lot in addition to my Boo's butcher block table, and I'm very excited for it. So that's the exciting news we have here at Catskill Mountain Homebody. Oh my god, this is so funny. This guy, I guess my dogs left this little guy leaning against the door. It just looks like he's hanging out, waiting for them to find him again. Maybe he's alive. Is he alive? Did you leave? Did he walk over there, or did you put him there? Did you put that little guy against the window? Or is he alive? What do you think? Is that your friend? Is that your friend? Is that your friend? Is that little orange guy your friend, huh? These dogs are so funny. And I might put this in the video, but I'm gonna de-Valentine's Day the front door area. I didn't have a spring welcome mat. I think last year I have a bunch of old mats downstairs that I use often, but I don't have a specific one for spring. I have a farmhouse one that I put out in the summer, and I have one for the fall, and then right now I have my Christmas one out. But I ordered a new welcome mat. It actually doesn't say welcome on it. And I want to show you guys before I put it outside, but it's really, really cute, and I think it's going to look really nice against the front door. We have a blue front door, if you haven't noticed in other videos. So I ordered this mat. It's so cute. It has these blue flowers, different colored blues, And it says, hello there. And it's so pretty. You know what? Let's walk Chipper. Let me let Chipper out and we'll put this new mat outside and I think it's time to take the Christmas one inside. Let's do that now. These are Valentine's Day banners that I usually hang outside on the side lights of my door. I have 2 side lights. I think I might have Easter ones I'm going to put out later, but since Valentine's Day is past and it's almost March, I'm going to take these in and put them away for the season. So what I do to weigh them down is I have these little birds that are little ceramic birds. They're actually cement birds that weigh down these banners. They still move in the wind, but not as much. Okay, so let me pack these away. Okay, this was my Christmas mat that I actually bought a while ago. It's several years old. I know it looks very worn and it's kind of a mess, and I did try to shake it out, but I really feel like I can get another season out of it. It seems to be more worn on this side than this side. But I am very frugal sometimes, and I don't really want to go buy a new mat for Christmas when this one is still okay. So I'm going to be storing this in the holiday closet with my other different season mats, and I'm probably going to reuse this one next Christmas. So I have a new mat for spring and my old mat for Christmas. So that's what I'm going to do. I already rolled up my Valentine's Day banners. Those are going to go in my Valentine's Day box when I take down my Valentine's Day decorations, probably next weekend. So we did get some snow in the Catskills. Let me show you outside. And this week we got about 1 inch of snow. And it really isn't much. You can actually see on the other side of the pond where it gets a lot of sun. The snow's almost all melted over there. Over here it's a little bit more shady. And we have about 1 inch on our property here. And again, the pond is not really that frozen. It's a little bit frozen. So that's kind of where we are in terms of heading into March. And we'll see what happens in March. March can be a very snowy month in the Catskills, so I don't know if it will be, but it'll be interesting to kind of see what happens with that. All right, so I thought I would try a chicken and vegetable bake in the oven, where I'm marinating the chicken for a few hours before we cook it. And I found this recipe online. I tweaked it a little bit. I already made the marinade. I filmed that, so I will put it in here, or I'll put it in later when I'm talking about the recipe. And I already made a sauce. So this is a marinade with, it has lemon juice, olive oil, different spices. And then on this side, I made a sour cream sauce, but you can use Greek yogurt. I did have Greek yogurt, but Joe ate it all. So, but I really think it would be good with the Greek yogurt. So next time I make this recipe, I'm going to try it with the Greek yogurt. But I used a cup of sour cream, and you put a little bit of fresh parsley, a little green onion, some lemon juice, and that is supposed to go on the side of like a little sauce for the chicken and vegetables. The vegetables I'm going to be baking with the chicken. I decided to do Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and I'm going to do cherry tomatoes. I love cherry tomatoes. So those are the 3 vegetables, and I might do some onion. And that'll be the vegetables that I bake the chicken in the oven. So the chicken's marinating. I'll show you all of that. I already filmed all that. I already made the sauce, and I already made the marinade. So the chicken's marinated. I don't want to make dinner until about 5:30. I'll start it because Joe and I had a late lunch because I had to go to work today. I got home around, I don't know, 1 o'clock today. And so we had a late lunch, so I don't want to eat. We're not going to eat too early. So that's the plan for today in terms of dinner. And I'll walk you through how I put it together. And then it's just going to, it's like it's nice. It's like a one pan bake. You bake the vegetables. Oh, it's going to have potatoes too in it. So, and I'm probably going to do a separate pan for some of the vegetables because I'm doing a lot of vegetables. The original recipe only had 2 vegetables. It only had broccoli and potatoes. I want to do a lot more. I just love vegetables, so I just want to do more vegetables with it. So I'll show you how I'm doing it, and then if you guys want to try it with vegetables you like, you can try that also. Oh, let's go sit in the living room for a little bit. So Chipper just ate. He just finished eating. He's licking his chops. And he has been having a lovely day at home with Mommy, right? I know, I love you. He's so good. He's so good. So the weather this weekend isn't supposed to be so great. So I decided that would be a good weekend to make some sauce. As I mentioned in my Super Bowl video, I always keep my own homemade sauce in the freezer. So I have it if I need it for a recipe or a quick dinner. I used my last sauce that was frozen when I made the meatball sliders. So I thought, well, what better weekend to make a pot of sauce than a weekend when the weather's going to be terrible outside. I'm going to make a pot of sauce with some Italian sausage this weekend. Now, I already have videos up on my channel of how I make meat sauce, and I have 2 videos. I have one video where I use brajol, and I make sauce with brajol. I might have sausage in that one too. And then I have another video where I make the meatballs. So this weekend I'm just going to do the a quick Italian sausage sauce, and then I'll have it to freeze for future dinners. But it's always good to have some tomato sauce on hand as a quick go-to dinner or to add to recipes. I hope you're all having a wonderful February month, wherever you are. I always wonder where people are who are watching my video. If you could put in the description where you are. I know I have a subscriber from Australia, and I know that I've had some subscribers from the States, but it would be interesting to find out where everyone is from, or what state you're from, or what country you're from. And I always feel like that's so interesting how YouTube kind of opens up the world to everyone. So we can all kind of watch each other and see what life is like in many different areas of the world. That's the most fascinating thing for me about YouTube. So put in the comments where you guys are hailing from. And welcome back to people who have subscribed to my channel. And if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing if you like videos on cooking and decorating and Chipper and Scout and pugs and beagles. Or country living. I feel like this year is going by so quickly. I started this channel in the summer. That's when I started filming for this channel. And we're already in March. So already almost summer again. So I feel like it's gone by very, very quickly. But I have been enjoying making these videos. I've learned a lot. And it's scary, but at the same time, it's rewarding to, meet people from all over the place and kind of share our life here in the Catskills. And sometimes it's scary to put yourself out there, but at the same time, nothing ventured, nothing gained. So I took a chance last summer, decided to just make a channel and see what happened. And I am very happy that I am recording some of these recipes for my son for the future. Especially the family recipes that he loves. So that way he'll always have access to those recipes. And that's important. All right, when we come back, I'm going to show you how I'm putting together this dinner. And I will show you how I did the marinade. And I'll also show you how I made the sauce that goes on the side. And then we're going to put dinner together and eat a little bit later tonight. That's okay, because it's a nice relaxing day. All right, so when we come back, we'll start making dinner. All right, we're going to start working on dinner now. Let me show you a couple things that I have. One of the veggies I'm going to be baking are fingerling potatoes. Bought the Bowl and Basket ShopRite brand. These are the fingerling potatoes. We're going to cut these into thirds. And we're going to be baking these before the chicken. So I'm not going to do this whole bag. Because I want to make a lot of different vegetables. But that is, but these are the potatoes. Now this one's a bigger one, so I'm going to cut this into fourths. That's okay. Some of them are bigger than others. You know, just eyeball them to decide how big of a piece you want. But you want these to cook in the oven, so you want them to be fairly even pieces so that they'll cook evenly in the oven. Look how small that one is. That one might only need to be cut in half. So I'm going to be putting some potatoes together. I bought these cherry tomatoes last week. I still have a little bit left. So I'm going to be washing those. So I'm going to be washing these and baking these with the broccoli and the Brussels sprouts. And I'm going to be using 2 trays. Let me show you. I'm going to be just lightly oiling these pans. All right, so at this moment, I'm going to cut in how to marinate the chicken, how to make the marinade, and the sauce, which I did earlier. So I'll put that in now. By the way, the recipe will be in the description of this video. Okay, so I have filled a pretty big bowl with vegetables, which is exactly why we are going to need 2 trays to bake this in. Now, I saved some of the marinade to season the vegetables with, and I'm also going to season this with olive oil, a little extra olive oil and salt and pepper. So I'm going to put the marinade on it when it's on the tray, but right now I'm just going to pour some olive oil over it so it can start seeping in. And I'm going to toss this later with some of the marinade just to give it a little bit more flavor. And again, I already have salt and pepper and a little olive oil. I'm going to oil the tray real quick. Just a little bit of oil and a little bit of mixing. It's good to use tin foil because it makes cleanup so much easier. And I'm going to try to keep all the potatoes on one separate tray. This pan has Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and tomatoes. I kept the potatoes separate because we're going to bake this one first. I'm going to take some of the marinade and put it on the potatoes. The rest of the marinade I'm going to pour over these other vegetables and try to massage them in. But all of these vegetables already have salt, pepper, and olive oil on them. Okay, we're going to preset the oven for 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And when that's up to temperature, we're going to bake the potatoes alone for 20 minutes just to make sure they get cooked through. And then we'll deal with the chicken. But let's get the potatoes in the oven first. All right, I just pulled the potatoes out of the oven. Let me show you. So these have baked for 20 minutes. I'm going to bake them another 20 minutes. I want them nice and soft. All right, I am going to pull the chicken that's been marinating for a few hours out of the fridge, and I am going to slice it. Let me show you. You don't want to slice raw chicken on your good wooden cutting boards because it's very difficult to get the bacteria out of wood. I always use in my plastic cutting board to cut raw chicken. I don't use my booze board or the one that Joe just made me. So I'm going to pull the chicken out of the fridge and I'm going to slice it on this board into strips. And then I'm going to push the potatoes on one side of that pan and I'm going to put the chicken on the other side. And we're going to bake the vegetables, the potatoes, and the chicken for another 20 minutes at 400 degrees. And that should cook the chicken through. So let's pull the chicken out of the fridge and start chopping it. So this has been marinating for 2 hours. right, it's time to bake the chicken and the potatoes and the vegetables. So another 20 minutes. I'm gonna check, of course I'll check the temperature of the chicken to make sure it's 165 internal. But because I sliced it, it should cook within 20 minutes. And then we put it all together with the sauce that I made earlier. And dinner will be ready around 6 o'clock. Perfect timing. All right, so let's get this stuff in the oven. Okay, dinner's served. I just pulled this out of the oven. The chicken's cooked. I checked the temperature. I have a little temperature timer thing. Made sure it's 165. Potatoes are fully cooked. And these vegetables are roasted. So you can see how nicely roasted all the vegetables are. You can really see how they're nicely roasted. There's the Brussels sprouts. By the way, I ended up not putting onion in this. I just did the Brussels sprouts, tomatoes, and broccoli. So those are all nicely, look at that, delicious, caramelized. So I'm going to put this together. Thank you so much for joining me today for this Cook With Me video. I'm going to be putting the plates together, so stay tuned to see how it looks coming together. And I have the sauce chilling in the refrigerator. So that's going to be on the side. And really it's going to be delicious because especially the sour cream sauce with the dill and the potatoes is going to be delicious. All right, so let's pull it all together and see you guys in the next video.